Hello, everyone. This is Michelle coming at you with Page of Wands Intuitive Tarot. I'm about to do a reading for Aquarians. So, hello, Aquarius peeps. Sorry, my lighting kind of went dim a little bit there. Sorry for the shadows, guys, but I'm doing your twin flame skeptic reading for twin flames in separation. And this is for the end of June through the end of July, so mainly encompassing the month of July. So this is the energy for the next 30 days that we're going to be looking at. So today is June 27th, so we can take this through about July 27th or so, or again through the end of the month. And what I mean by twin flame skeptics is this is anybody that, like me, has been through a dark night of the soul, facilitated by someone that can be described as having twin flame energy. So this could be a karmic relationship or a soul relationship that you feel has had some major implications on your life, has sort of done that, holding the mirror up to your soul, made you reevaluate how you feel about love and fulfillment and the things that you want to accomplish in your life, and perhaps has made you kind of reevaluate and re-explore your spirituality. So that's kind of how I look at a twin flame experience. I do believe it's more about the spiritual journey than it is about achieving actual union. And that's not to say that we're being pessimistic or not hopeful. It's just trying to, realize that whatever we're going to put out there positively, whatever we're going to manifest is for the greater good of our souls. So, if that means that our twin can't quite meet us in this lifetime, then that might be the best thing for us. But I think everybody's journey is different, and I'm just trying to shed a different light and a different perspective on this process because I want people to not feel stuck and trapped in their experience, right? I really want to take this to a place where we're using it for useful purposes in order to get ourselves to a place where we feel like we're living our best lives, okay? So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm using here my Tarot of the Old Path deck. I've been using this for all of the signs. And I am trying to bone up on my signs, so Aquarians, if I get anything wrong about you, I do apologize. I know that we're not all in a vacuum here, right? We've got lots of signs in our charts. When I read court cards, I'm not necessarily going to tell you if it's an air court card that it has to be an air sign like yourself. We'll just look at the overarching energy of that card. Okay, so I'm going to lay 3 cards down on the left for Divine Masculine, 3 cards on the right for the Divine Feminine, and I am going to try and keep these short because my readings have been going a little bit long, and just so you know, I have already shuffled and meditated over the cards, okay? I kind of spare you that whole process. All right, so I've got my Divine Masculines laying my Divine Feminines. You guys already have a few people going on here, a few people-based energies, and I'm going to do 2 connecting cards in the middle that I don't turn over right away because I like to get a feel for my masculine and feminine sides first. So masculine, the first card I pull for you is the 3 of Swords. This is the card of heartbreak and defeat, heartache. And a lot of times this can denote a third-party situation, a 3-party situation. So I won't be surprised, Divine Masculines, if you've had some experiences with third-party affairs, especially as it may relate to your feminine. Okay, but this is really sitting in a place of true heartache. I do feel the 3 is oftentimes very significant, even if it's not 3 people. Perhaps it's 3 areas of your life in which you've experienced a lot of turmoil and difficulty. And right under that, we have the beautiful Queen of Pentacles. This lovely lady has been coming out in a lot of my spreads. This is an energy of somebody that is very much in control of their money and their domestic life. This could be a career woman and also maybe even a working mother. But this is someone who's very nurturing, very earthy. This is very foundational earthy energy. Someone that's very dependable and loyal and makes a really good committed partner. And right under that, we have the Queen of Cups. So we are going to clarify these masculines, but I do find it a little bit interesting that we have the third-party situation card here and the heartache. And then we've got 2 ladies. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Earth, and the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Water. This woman is extremely intuitive and sensitive, and she knows how to use her intuition. And she's also very nurturing, but in a little bit of a different way than the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing in a practical manner. She'll make sure that the house looks nice and your bed is cozy and, you know, you've got food on the table, and she's all about creating this really like cozy, comfortable home environment. And this woman is more about nurturing you on an emotional level. This woman makes a great nurse, by the way. This is somebody that is just extremely watery. So again, intuitive, emotional. This could be a water sign, sure. We could be looking at Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. And then for this one, we could be looking at Taurus or Capricorn or Virgo, but it's not necessarily that way, okay? So that's very interesting. We'll come back to that, masculines, divine feminines over here on the right. The first card we have is the Sword of Truth turned upside down. This is the Ace of Swords. This has to do with dealings of the mind, ideas, knowledge, okay? And when I see this upside down, I see challenging perception or not thinking clearly. So perhaps there's something that has to do with your masculine that's making you not see clearly, or that made you see a truth that was hard to see, or something that you don't want to see. And it might be involving this fire guy here. This is the Knight of Wands. This guy can have some really passionate energy, some exuberance, creativity. He moves quickly in terms of gaining what he wants, okay? There's a lot of action behind this card. It could be creative action, passionate action, right? Creativity. This guy is sometimes also known as the one-night stand guy. But keep in mind, the Knight of Swords, I've heard him referred to as such as well, because he swoops into a situation with little to no regard about who's in his way or what kind of chaos he's going to leave in his wake. This guy's a little bit more grounded because he's fire instead of air. But just seeing the look on his face there, he's awfully determined, is he not? Like, this guy's got an agenda, okay? And he cares about things that are a little bit ego-driven, right? A little bit. But he comes from a fiery, passionate place. But this fire and this passion is oftentimes misguided, because although his flame burns very brightly, it doesn't always last. So perhaps whatever this is with the divine masculine, and whoever this is, these two feminine energies, perhaps this something that wasn't seen clearly or isn't seen clearly involves this kind of energy, and perhaps this is the way you're seeing your masculine, or the way that you have seen him in the past. And then this card here is the card of defenses. This is the card of standing your ground. This is the card for standing up for what you believe in, for your ideals. And see, this gentleman, when he's right side up, he's kind of like guarding himself, right? He's preparing to defend what he thinks and what he wants. But in the reverse, you're not doing that, feminines, for whatever reason. You're not standing up for something. You're not seeing something clearly. Some perception needs to be shifted around, and I believe that it involves this energy here. So let's look at the connecting cards and get a little bit more information. Okay, so here we have the Poverty card in reverse, the Five of Pentacles. This is health, wealth, and spirituality. This is the beggar couple standing in the cold outside of the church in the upright. But when it's in the upside down, I believe that this tells us this energy is moving out. That we'll soon be coming out of a period of feeling poverty, not feeling fulfilled in whatever way that may be. So whether this is you feel like you don't have money, or you feel like you haven't had something to cling to, something to depend on, something hasn't been there for you, right? In the Rider-Waite deck, we see the church behind them. So it's like the beggars could turn around and know they could get sanctuary in the church, but they're out in the cold. They feel like they're out in the cold. Tarot always presents a solution, by the way. So when this is upside down, I think this energy is fading out. So whatever this connecting energy has to do with this feeling of poverty, I do feel like that's going away, which is a good thing. But I'm not quite sure why yet, because right underneath it, we have the clothes in reverse. And this beautiful card is the Death card in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. Isn't that like really awesome in kind of a morbid way? I like sort of the watercolor aspect of these cards, right? They have a softness about them. So even this card looks kind of lovely, But this is telling me that there is a delay in a transition. There is a refusal to fully let something play out. And when I see this card, the close in particular, there's a human element to this card that I feel beckons to an internal change, an internal transition which needs to be made, which is being avoided. Okay? So a full shift of something here is being avoided. And maybe it's because there was fear of losing all of this stuff. The stuff that made you feel really secure. And so you're avoiding this shift. Right? I'm not sure, we need more clarifiers. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify for masculines here on my left-hand side. We're going to take a look at every one of these cards, the Three of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. And we're going to see if we can't get a little bit more to our story here, Aquarius masculines. Okay? Guys, if I haven't mentioned yet, if you would like a personal reading, I did put my personal information in the description. So you can email me, check out my Facebook and Instagram pages, any way you want to do it. All right? Okay, I think we're ready here. So, okay. So the first card I get on top of the Three of Swords, the Heartbreak card, is the King of Swords. This is air masculines. Air King. You are an air sign. I believe that this has to do with you. I believe that you are the one that either caused this heartbreak or is experiencing it. And I kind of want to err on the side of you caused it. Because this guy doesn't feel a whole lot. He's a good guy in some ways, but he comes from a very analytical place. A place of strategy. A place of battle. This guy's like really good as your attorney, right? You want this guy as, you know, your chief engineer or something like that. Like he's got a very analytical mind. And I believe that this is representative of you, masculines, because right underneath that, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Lovers in reverse. So there was a choice you had to make about this Queen of Pentacles, right? And you weren't sure if this relationship had lasting potential. And you weren't sure to go with your head or your heart over this Queen of Pentacles. So perhaps this is either relating to a relationship that you were in, or this is relating to the relationship with your feminine. But either way, you made a decision, and I want to say you chose your head instead of your heart. Because you're the the King of air, and there's heartbreak here. There's heartbreak. I think for whatever reason, you didn't see a lasting love potential here. You didn't believe it. And then underneath that, we have the Page of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups. You know, I had a very similar reading for, who was it? It might have been my Sagittarius people or my Scorpios. I can't remember, but there were kids involved, and I was getting a lot of people. And here, I want to say that it's possible that there's a child involved here too, or a young adult, because I have the Page of Pentacles here. This could be a young earth sign. This could be a young Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, but doesn't have to be. Again, this could just be a general energy surrounding this Queen of Cups. This might be the mother of your children. Air sign masculines, if you are married or if you're involved in a relationship before. And I believe that this earthy, beautiful Pentacles energy is actually, might be your Aquarian feminine. And you chose your head because that was the most practical for you. This is a practical card too, right? This is a practical idea. But I think here it's a person. And I think it's attached to a woman. And again, we've got it going out of a poverty, a going away of this feeling of deep, deep loss, but a delay in a transition. So, however this energy is flowing out, whether it's on masculine side or feminine side, I'm not sure. And who's avoiding this change and this transition internally, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And it could be both of you. It could be both of you because I believe that the masculine here has caused some heartache, and I believe that the feminine here isn't standing up for something. Maybe she's not standing up for herself when it comes to her masculine because he's acting like this to her. All fire, all passion in the beginning comes in. I'm going to love you. I'm going to give you all this stuff. And then the fire fades out. That's a really sad story. I really hope that's not what happened. But I call it like I see it, right, guys? So if this isn't resonating with you, good. If it is, I'm sorry. But we're going to work through it because I'm all about finding answers, right? So let's move on to the feminine side and let's clarify there, okay? Okay. Can you guys see my wine behind me, like up there on the shelf? By my little Buddha cat on the top shelf? It's kind of taunting me. I'm not going to lie. But it's not a wine and spirits TV night, so I'm not going to drink on camera. All right. But it's the lovely Pinot Noir I just purchased, and it's beckoning me. All right, feminines. So, oh my God. With you people. Not you people. Not you feminines. Sorry. The people in this spread, right? We just got the Knight of Air. The Knight of Swords on top of the Ace of Swords in reverse, right on top of the Knight of Wands with the Emperor in reverse. Holy canicky. And then the Ace of Wands in reverse on top of the feminines. And we've got the King of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, yeah, I almost said Knight, and the Queen of Cups. How many people are involved in this story? But I will tell you, I believe, once again, that this is your masculine. Right? Comes in, has an agenda, cuts everything out of his way, gets to what he wants, little to no thought about the chaos he's leaving in his wake, right on top of the fiery, passionate, I'll give you what you want, baby, Emperor in reverse. This card could be amazing. This is an amazing energy card. This is total royalty masculine energy. This guy is king of his entire world, right? I mean, it's not just his castle. Look, all the ram's heads. This is a very Aries card, right? And he's got that big white hawk on his shoulder and the purple flowers and the staff and the kids in the background and the sun and the cat. Like, this guy rules his own universe. So this could be, this is like a father figure, a boss, or you, if you were like the master of your universe and you were carrying this strong, powerful masculine energy. But in the reverse, this is somebody that does things for manipulative means. There can be two ways to read this, okay? Either they do things purposely to be manipulative and they use their position of power in order to gain some sort of threshold over the people they deal with in their lives, right? They assert their power over people no matter if they're hurting them or not, and they use their power of authority in order to get what they want. But I also see this as somebody with really like severe father issues. They are not acting in a fatherly way for anybody involved, whether it be their own children or the people that work under them or the people in their lives. And sometimes I see this as somebody that really kind of needs a smack in the head and needs to be turned around, right? Because this potential is amazing. But they're not using their potential. And because they have so much potential, and there's so much amazing masculine energy here that's in the reverse, that's in the upside down, it causes hurt and grief. The implications can be very far-reaching with this person's actions because they're not done so in a good way, and because there's so much passion behind them, and there's so much energy and movement, swift movement behind them, and strategy, right? So wow, feminines, I feel like you're really in quite a way here with what's going on with your masculines and this combining energy. And one thing I do feel is really positive about this so far is this, because I think this is fading out, but I think something has to shift internally, definitely with the masculines if this is how they're acting. 100% there needs to be a whole shift. But with feminines too, maybe there's something that you need to stand up for here, and this has to do with the fact that there is a lack of a commitment and a lack of something that is going to keep a fire going, because this Ace of Wands, which should be this beautiful beginning with these great roots, that's going to flourish and flower and bring you great, creative, beautiful, loving energy, for whatever reason this is stifled. And sometimes this is looked at as kind of like pure, raw sexuality. And in the reverse, a lack thereof. Lack of passion, right? Lack of sexuality. Nothing really happening in on that realm. And it's on the 7, right? So maybe you're allowing these things to continue. Maybe you're allowing this behavior to continue because you don't want to ruffle feathers. And you feel like, well, I can't really do anything because this lady and this guy are involved. Whether this is a wife and a child or whomever these people are, maybe you're afraid to stand up for yourself and end this behavior because of this, right? Because you feel like something is there. And maybe you feel like if you keep letting it go on and giving in and not standing up for yourself, that everything will change. But this has to change internally. And I think this needs to stop on both sides. Okay? I'm going to pull 2 more clarifiers for these middle energy cards. I'm sorry to have such an intense reading for you guys. I get a lot of third-party situations in my readings for Twin Flames. I don't think that is something that should be that surprising. But this is one where I've definitely seen it as being a little bit more, I've seen a lot of family conflict and stuff like that. But this one I see as just being a little bit more, it's erring a little bit on the manipulative and unhealthy side, okay? Masculines, I don't mean to be picking on you. But whatever this is that's going on here, something really needs to change. Really, really needs to change. Okay, so let's look at this combining middle energy here. I think you need to think a little bit more with your heart and consider what's going to have lasting implications on this situation. Two of Swords in reverse. On top of the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. When I see this as reverse, I see this card as self-sabotage. This is the card of self-sabotage, or this could be 2 people fighting, or this could be fighting your shadow self. Definitely when I see it reversed, I see it internalized, right? This is either I'm not putting up the fight because I don't want to recognize what's going on. I don't want to see what's going on with this person. I'm in denial about it. And I'm just going to close my eyes and hope this energy just fades out on its own. Or this is really a fighting, an internal fighting yourself, fighting what needs to be done. But I see this a lot of times as self-sabotage, and here I'm kind of seeing it the same way, right? Almost like you don't want to fight. Like you don't want to battle, and you know that there is something there that needs to be said, but you're not fighting. Okay, and then you're just not, because you're not giving the attention that it needs to take this energy away. There's too many people involved here. And then I've got the Hanged Man, once again, in the reverse, on top of the close, in reverse. This is a card of seeing things from a different perspective. This is the card of sacrifice. but it's in the reverse. Once again, quite the conundrum when the Hanged Man is hanging right side up, right? Because there's a refusal to look at this from a different perspective, and a refusal to allow this situation to move out of this energy that it's in, and a refusal to let this transformation on the inside take place, because we are not hanging upside down in order to see it for what it is. We're sabotaging ourselves. We're fighting ourselves internally because we're not seeing what's going on, and we're trying not to make waves, right? This is somebody that's like, I don't want to rock the boat, right? I don't want to cause conflict. I don't like conflict. I'm just going to and Aquarians, from what I know, you're supposed to be really idealistic and really fight for what you want, but I don't see that happening here. I got to be honest with you. I see the masculine trying to get what he wants through manipulative means, but I don't see this as being for a good reason. And feminines, I don't see you putting up the fight that you should be putting up. Okay? And I'm not saying that that means that there isn't potential here. But what I'm saying is that this choosing of the head over the heart, because of the worry of what's going on here, and this energy, it's just not being put to good use. Okay? Okay. I'm sorry to be so downer, but let's go ahead. And again, I feel like this card, this is like our saving grace, even though this is the poverty card, because it's in the reverse. Once again, guys, this is moving out, which is great. So I think that the energy does have the potential to clear out on its own. But feminines, I feel like you are being challenged here. You're the ones that are being challenged to pick up that sword and fight. Okay? And maybe you are a little bit. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe you are the ones that are like, hold the fucking phone. Like, this shit, Like, you're not controlling me. You're not manipulating me. You're not controlling your family. You're not taking me for a ride. You're not playing with my heart and my emotions. No. I'm done with this. And maybe that is what's going on here. I hope so. I hope so, feminines. I hope so. And I hope that this gets to here soon. Okay? Because the potential's here. If the cards are here, the potential's here. Right? Turn it upside down. Take your sword, turn this sword of truth upside down, and wield it. Stand up for what you believe in. Okay? Because there is love potential here, or there was, right? But this isn't being honored. It's not being honored. All right. We're going to go ahead and pull an oracle card. The oracle card deck that I'm using is Messenger Oracle. This card was a little bit of a curveball. I've been telling everybody I get kind of curveball messages with it, but I'm going with it. Trying to become one with this deck. So sometimes I get something where I'm just like, I have no idea what this is trying to say, but let's just roll, right? We got to just go with what we're given. So Divine Masculines for Aquarius. This is for July 2017. We're looking for some clarifiers on all of these people. Let's see what we get here. I totally got the same thing for another sign. And I want to say it again, I can't remember if it was, I think it was my Capricorns. I think that's who it was. Reveal your truth. Take off the mask. And again, with the Lovers. With the King of Swords. Who do you love, King of Swords? Whose hearts are you breaking here? Who is it? Is it your Queen of Pentacles? Your earthy energies? Is it your Queen of Cups? What are you doing here in the name of love? Because if I had to guess, I would say, this is where your love is, but you're not choosing it. And I would say, this is what you're protecting, right? But you're not being honest. Something is scaring you about this situation, and you don't want to come to terms with it, and you don't want to admit it. So you're keeping your mask on. And whether that's because of society, or because you're afraid of how your family's going to feel, or how people are going to judge you in this situation, doesn't matter. If it's what's coming from your heart, then that's what you should be doing. All right? Wow. So yeah, I mean, I stand by everything I've said here so far with the masculines, okay? Feminines, let's get yours going. Something really positive and beautiful for our feminine Aquarians here who have been put through the ringer with this energy. Really put through it. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Show that you care. Now, feminines, I am going to tell you this. I'm getting a few different messages with this, okay? I see this card as caring for yourself, first and foremost. Showing yourself that you care. By showing yourself that you care, you cut off this energy. You say, you stand up for it. You stand up for it, and you say, no, this isn't what I want, and this isn't what I believe in. Because whatever this is, the seed that's been planted and that's been growing isn't flourishing. It can't flourish. My love and my creativity and my passion are being stifled in this situation because of this kind of behavior. Okay? And again, this could be an outward energy, feminines, on top of this guy that's influencing this guy. This could be a very strong male energy that doesn't do things for the right reasons, or this could be the same person, and this could all be pertaining to your masculine, which would not surprise me because of this. Okay? But showing that you care also means showing that you care for everybody involved. Care for yourself and how you deal with the situation. Make the right decision and allow this transition to happen and look at this from a different perspective in the name of what's going to be best for everybody in the end, okay? It may not seem readily apparent in the immediate present that this is going to be the best choice for you. Standing up for whatever it is you know you need to do, not allowing this behavior, seeing the truth for what it is, and going in and cutting out the fucking bullshit. But that's what you need to do, because that's how you show you care. It's kind of like tough love, right? Don't enable. If you're enabling, if there's enabling here, stop. That needs to stop right now. Okay, last card, because we're getting long again here. So I'm going to pull one of our Vintage Wisdom Oracles. Sorry, I have my fingers over her face. Okay, and we're going to do one for masculines and one for feminines. Once again, and this is going to be our crowning card for this reading, okay? So, masculines. Wow. Shadow self. What did I say? You guys are in denial. You're in it. You are not seeing your feminine. You're not seeing her for what she is. You're not seeing this twin flame situation at all. Nope. Blindfolded. Self-sabotage. Not seeing your shadow self. Remember what I said when sometimes this is fighting your shadow self? Internal battle. Shadow self. Who held up a mirror that you don't want to see? That caused this heartache? That's causing you to act like this cold king? Twin flame. Upside down. Choosing your heart. Wearing your mask. You aren't seeing it. You are refusing to see it. To hang from another perspective, right? Wow, guys. I gotta tell you. That couldn't be more clear to me. All right? To my masculines, I love you. Again, not picking on you, but this is some bullshit. Knock it off. Feminines, for you. One last card. truth. Again, the shadow component, facing yourself, facing the situation. What truth is clouded for you? What is it? Because it's like neither of you are fighting for this truth. Neither of you are. And maybe you need to see the truth. Maybe you need to see the truth. Show yourself that you care. Show your masculine that you care. Because this exists and it's here. And neither of you want to see it. Masculines, you need to connect with your shadow self, and you need to go deeper, and you need to figure on what's going on in your heart. Feminines, know that the potential is here, but your masculine needs to get out of his head, and he needs to stop playing games with people. His family, whoever else is involved here, another relationship, God forbid if there's children, which I know a lot of times there is in this situation, the best thing needs to be done for everybody here. But first and foremost, you need to stand up for what you believe in, and you need to allow this internal transition to take place, both of you. I think both of these internal energies are for both of you. Okay? Come out of this feeling of poverty, of not having something deep because there's something here. And quit fighting your shadow side. Quit self-sabotaging. Okay? Because the potential for love and joy is always there. But it's all about the action that you take. All right, Aquarians, I hope this was helpful too. Thank you so much for letting me do your reading. Please join me again in for the next month's reading and for August. And hopefully we will have seen a good movement out of this situation and this transition will have already taken place. Until then, have a wonderful evening. Goodbye. Namaste.